I'm Grace Theriot. I go to the University of Virginia. I'm double majoring in public policy and leadership and Jewish studies with a concentration in Holocaust studies, and my minor is in global studies and education. And I'm on the University of Virginia Undergraduate Holocaust Research Fellowship. My research topic is broadly the female coming of age experience during genocidal contexts. So I did a literature review of various gender development theories from professionals in the field, and I'm testing those theories with testimonies from predominantly the Holocaust, but broadly genocidal context as a whole, to see if they hold up. So it's asking the central question: what is the universal female coming of age experience, if there is any, and what does that look like for women in contexts that often for many of us feel unimaginable? So I think, at least for me, and I think for many people, my first exposure to the Holocaust was through the Diary of Anne Frank, and I think that is a somewhat universal experience since it is so heavily taught in schools, published in so many different languages. Her adolescent female experience is a point of connection for so many people, and I think when I was thinking about my research, I really wanted to look beyond Anne Frank. I wanted to kind of provide that entry point, my entry point, others' entry points, and then take it a step farther. So I wanted to look at the girlhood experience for other girls, not just Anne Frank in hiding, and kind of look beyond her and kind of at the larger field of experiences. The same way that people relate to Anne Frank and find some commonality in their experiences and her experiences in hiding, is there that commonality in other contexts within genocide and other backgrounds and other stories? I think I've encountered several that really stay with me. I think one in particular was a girl talking about how she got her first period in a concentration camp and how, frightened she was, but she was also there with her 4 older sisters. And I think her talking about how these sisters stepped up, tore off pieces of their uniforms to help her, kind of stop the bleeding, and helped, provide comfort to her in this a time that is stressful for any young girl, but especially stressful when you're getting this kind of monumental physical experience in, an extermination camp. And I think hearing about how her sisters uplifted her and supported her really stuck with me, because I think it was a testament to sisterhood, to girlhood, to women supporting other women, and kind of, this universal, like, this is stressful for everyone, let's come together and make sure it's more okay for you, I think was really powerful. I think it's really important, to continue to uplift female voices in all fields, and I think for a long time, the male experience in the Holocaust was the sole narrative surrounding the Holocaust, with minor exceptions. I hope that my research contributes and sheds light on the female experience in genocidal context and in the Holocaust, talks about the nuances of the female experience that are not the same for men, like things like menstruation and puberty, things like, female friendship and courtship and things like that might, are very different for men and for women. I hope that my research helps, uplift these experiences, uplift these voices, and I hope that my research sheds light on, potentially the universal female experience, which can apply to other fields outside of just Holocaust and gender studies, but also psychology, sociology, anthropology, etc. Public policy and Holocaust studies are the 2 things I study in school, and I think they really go hand in hand. I think you can't look towards future change without understanding past injustice. For me, at least, when I'm looking at public policy, when I'm looking at social justice, like government work, looking at advocacy organizations and NGOs, I could not do that work without having an understanding of what it looks like when when you're not fighting for those things, when people forget to fight for those things. And so I think for me, and I hope, for so many others, genocide studies is really important because it teaches us why we should continue to fight and to, research and promote advocacy in a variety of contexts for a variety of people. And I think that that's something I really take meaning of from my research, is that I hope, by talking about these experiences, talking about women's, female experiences in different contexts, that it can provide fuel for myself, for others, to continue to fight for gender equality, for women's rights now. I think connecting with the other fellows has been really amazing. Like, there's been so many times where people have emailed me a testimony that they think would really stick with me in my research, and I think that that was a really amazing experience. I didn't really know how the community would work in a research office that was researching such a heavy topic, and I think seeing that there is still a community and people understand, like, they also understand what it's like to go in and do this work and have a passion for this work, which is something many people don't really understand, and I think finding that and meeting other people has been really amazing. So I'm started to write a little bit. I've started outlining potentially a paper I would hope to eventually get published about my research, and I'm starting my final year of college, and I hope to continue to kind of edit and work towards publication of the research throughout this year and maybe after, and this hopefully is the start of my research career as a student, as a graduate student, hopefully. And I think that this, for me, is kind of the beginning of research, genocide research, Holocaust research, and I think that my experience at the center has only made me want to do that.